Good afternoon. It's me again, talking down payment assistance. You see the title. Should you use a DPA, down payment assistance program for down payment and or closing cost help? I know you're like, come on, Robert. Of course we should use a DPA if I don't have the monies. And that would be, in my opinion, the case when you want to use a down payment assistance. Let me explain. Nothing's free. Nothing's free. So in exchange for someone giving you monies to help you with a down payment and or closing costs, there's a cost somewhere, and the cost lies in the interest rate. Okay. All the down payment assistance programs that I represent here in the state of Texas, TSHAT, TDCH 79, SAF, all of the major cities, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, El Paso, the DFW area, and all of the smaller cities in between. I do them all, okay? And unless you're doing a city program that allows you to do a traditional FHA, VA, USDA, or conventional loan, then the cost that you will realize is going to be in a higher interest rate. Now, most of the city programs that are available that allow you to use a traditional loan where you don't have to worry about those costs, there's costs associated with that. And it's usually a time requirement, and there's some portion of skin in the game, some income requirement that you have to have. I'll give you an example. Like the city of San Antonio, it's called the HIP program. You have to do an 8-hour class that you have to be physically present for. So that's a cost of your most valuable asset or resource and time, in my opinion. Not only that, you have to contribute up to $2,000 towards the purchase. So you have to have some monies and invest some time. Now, if you can do those things, great program. And let me back up. I almost forgot one of the biggest characteristics or factors or qualifications for most of your local city down payment assistance programs that don't that allow you to use a traditional loan. And the reason that's important is because you can get traditional interest rates, just to kind of tie the two. But they're going to have some type of geographical restraints, because typically those programs are designed to get good folks in underserved areas, right? I'm not a realtor, so, and I'm not trying to be derogatory, but it's in parts of the city that they want good people to move into. I'll let you paint that picture so you can understand. I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. So those are some of the constraints that you're looking at when you have the city programs that allow you to do traditional loans. That's going to allow you to get traditional interest rates. Other than that, on the bigger level, I like to deal with the grants more so than those smaller city loans, because they also do their loans in the form of a silent second, and there's some type of recapture clause to those loans as well, meaning or terms, if you will. If you live in a house for 10 years, then the money you borrow goes away, okay? And some of them have a repayment clause to them irregardless, that, when the time that you sell, the idea is the home is going to appreciate, things of that nature, and then you can pay those monies back at that time. So that's a form of down payment assistance. I like the grant form better because grants are free, right? But you're going to pay a higher interest rate. That's the cost. Well, there's no and to it. I'll say and, there's not the geographical constraints that you have for the most part, depending on what part of the state you're in, and I'm talking Texas. But you too could utilize this information. You always want to hop on the computer, Google, or get with a good local lender or realtor, and you can ask about down payment assistance in your locale that you might qualify for. So with all that being said, back to the original, should you use down payment assistance? I say if you have the ability to pay to make the down payment, you want to use your monies because the interest rate is going to be lower. So theoretically, you're going to be paying back less money as far as the payback is concerned, smaller interest rate. You're going to get more market rates opposed to a higher rate because you're receiving those monies. Okay. And that's really the biggest answer, the biggest reason you should pay if you can. Okay. Because these programs are designed for people who don't have the money but want to become homeowners. And point I'm trying to make is if we have the right customer with the right program, everything always works. Okay. So if you're somebody that makes a lot of money and you just like to keep money, this program is probably not going to work for you because you're going to be one of those people that wants to get free money and have low interest rates as well. And it ain't going to happen. I'm here to tell you the truth, right? That's what Robert does, is speaks the truth. So down payment assistance programs, DPAs, are great, in my opinion, for people who do not really have the money for the down payment, i.e. the program. So two other things before I leave on the DPAs and should you use them. Once again, if you don't have the monies, by all means, use them, because I'd rather have you be paying a mortgage on your home opposed to you paying a mortgage on the investor's home. Don't get caught up in all this. You shouldn't own a home. The only reason you shouldn't own a home is if you can't afford one. Housing is a necessity, and they are always telling you not to buy, but they have a place that you can rent from them. You do the math. It's common sense. So the only reason Robert tells you not to buy is if you can't afford. That's a different criteria. And no one should buy if they can't afford. If you need some help in figuring that out, you can always reach out to me or whoever that lender is that you know, like, and trust. So I'll wrap it up with that. Don't want to be too long-winded. My opinion is if you have the money, don't use the down payment assistance because you can get more of a market rate. If you don't have the money, if you do have the money, don't use the DPA. If you don't have the money, that's what it's for. Down payment assistance for those who are running up against the biggest barrier to home ownership, and that's down payment and or closing costs. There you have it. Robert Lewis, Lend to Texas, LEND, the number 2TX.com, in association with Open Mortgage. My license number is NMLS 180100, and yes, we are an equal opportunity credit lender. Until the next time, peace.